Now the price has been brought to 815 rupees and there is no subsidy. Apart from 1.75 lakhs, he got it as dividend from the Reserve Bank of India. Where that all money has gone? No answer. There is no benefit for the country if it goes to the private hands. Private doesn't have an obligation to the country or the people or anybody. If you don't do this now in this election, then I tell you, you are going to face one election that is going to be the last election and Modi will come to power and he will not conduct the election. Just the way Hitler has did for German people. Dear friends, Rooster would like to happily announce that we are beginning this day in a new studio in Anarchism, Chennai, and it is to meet the requirements of our service. Hope you will all enjoy and welcome it. The most important thing today is you all know the announcement of 5 state assembly elections that is to be held between March 27 to April 29 in the states of Tamil Nadu, Puducherry, Kerala, Assam and West Bengal. In Assam it is going to be 3 phases. In West Bengal it is going to be 8 phases for the 294 assembly segments. My friends, it is not an election contested between political parties or ideologies or anything, but it is the contest between the policies pursued by the present Modi-led government of India, the Union government of India, and the people of India. This is the essence of this election. They may trade accusations. Modi will say every other state as non-performing and say it is his government that has been performing. But if you ask what is that you have performed, there will not be an answer. There will not be a statistics. But he keeps accusing every other opposition-led governments. Okay, right. You can accuse. After all, that is politics. But what he is not revealing is what his government has done to the people. The people at large, much of the population, farmers, workers, unorganized laborers that comprises more than almost 50 crores of our population. Then comes the employees of different organizations, institutions, industries, enterprises, etc., etc. Then the small, tiny, medium sector in the manufacturing unit. And there are so much of export-oriented organizations. Everything he has done, plainly we can say nothing. But what he claims, he has done so much within the six years than what has been done in the past more than half a century. But then we must have to encounter this not only on economic front, but also on the policy. I am not telling about ideology, because if you speak about ideology, they will immediately take up the majoritarian issue. Because they know if they play the majoritarian card, then at least 20% of the votes are assured to them. BJP, based on the RSS Hindutva ideology. But what we have to confront them is with economic policies. You have been in this power for 6 years, with a clear mandate. We can call it that way, even though that mandate has been secured from the electronic voting machines and with the help of ECI, Election Commission of India. Let us assume that he has got a mandate. But what he has done with that majoritarian mandate, that's the question. Today, we are buying a cylinder of LPG for 815 rupees. Okay? We are putting petrol at 96 rupees, and in many places it has crossed the century. 100 rupees we pay for a liter of petrol and 87 rupees for a liter of diesel. Any justification for this? Nothing. Simply, in no government on earth today that collects excise duty on fuel much more than the cost of import itself. Import, refinery charges, and the commission of the dispenser, that is the petrol bunks. All put together, if it comes to 30 rupees, 31 rupees, Modi charges 33 rupees as excise duty. And for diesel, likewise, he is charging 32 rupees. A paise or two less. You can see it in the details. What about the LPG? What is the reason he has given? Suddenly, one fine day, he said the price has come down to 565 rupees per cylinder of 14 kg, and says there is nothing for the government to pay back as direct benefit transfer as subsidy. Now, the price has been brought to 815 rupees and there is no subsidy. Some 24 rupees or something like that has been paid when we are getting it for 17 rupees. Now it has come to 815, but nothing. Because he feels that there is nothing to answer to the public or the commoner. Tell me, is it an economic policy? You may earn 20 lakhs or 25 lakhs from selling fuel. But is the government is for selling? Then who is there for servicing it? Once upon a time, there was a loss to the petrol marketing companies. But what about today? Are they making losses? Hefty profits. Where it goes? To the Consolidated Fund of India. How that has been used? To service non-performing assets. Simply say, whatever the loan that the corporates have obtained from the nationalized banks, that has been secretly written off. 2 days back, the shocking news is Modi's government in 5 years written off 7.77 lakh crores of rupees of NPAs of the corporates. Many parties ask the government to reveal to whom you have written off. Much of the sufferer is State Bank of India, because that is the biggest bank, so you can make it suffer. Right? That is the logic. Till today, there is no answer from the union government. No answer from the finance minister. Nothing. Because they say they will do it. So far, we have been talking about the 69,000 crores that has been written off in the September 2019 period. But today, the shocking revelation is 8 lakh crores almost has been written off. This government is going to get loan from the market to the tune of 12 lakh rupees to meet its fiscal deficit. But silently, it is writing off 7.77 lakh crores. Tell me please, where is the accountability of the state to the people of this country? Whenever they increase a liter on petrol or diesel, they are getting 14,000 crores in a year. Imagine how many 1 rupees has been increased since Modi government took over power. And how the prices of kacha, that is crude oil, descended. It has been nose diving. By production cut, they are sustaining at the level of $60. It's not going to go for a long time. But to whom he is serving? That is the question. You take the money, you write the corporate bad debts, that is all. keeping always your budget position as a fiscal deficit with 9.52%. Apart from this, he has given 1.76 lakh crores as a tax rebate in the last finance. Apart from 1.75 lakhs, he got it as dividend from the Reserve Bank of India. Where that all money has gone? No answer. Without figures, Nirmala Sitharaman finishing her budget speech. So, the people of the country must have to try find answer within themselves or with their neighbor or their friends or with anybody, even economists for that matter. Put these questions. Let them answer. If they don't answer, this country has been taken for a ride by its own government. And the answer should be vote against BJP and BJP-led alliance. That is the only way we can say that we stand with every other Indian. If I vote for BJP, then I stand for corporate. I may be a government employee getting hefty salary, but I am accountable, at least to my conscience. Then, every other government employee, if you wanted to preserve the real sovereignty of this India, then the rights of the people with respect to economic liberty and economic right, you should vote against this government. Whether you are people of Bengal, the greatest soil that has given so much of leaders to the freedom struggle. One amongst them is, you all well know, Aurobindo Ghosh. I am the follower of his spiritual ideas and I am living along with it. So many people. Think of liberation a few minutes. Think what is the purpose of liberation. Just equate with what Mr. Modi and his dispensation is doing. Compare it. Find an answer. It is not the question of whether you follow this philosophy or that philosophy or capitalism or whatever. What is the benefit the commoner has got? You say that. That is the reason I am telling you, find the answer within yourself and with your neighbor and friends or any economist for that matter. They are swindling and make way for this country to be swindled. Nothing happens. He lies, blatant lies. He is not shy of lying. He says one day, a farmer from Maharashtra is benefited because of this act. Then this news company, this institution has brought to you the fact that that man has lost more than 5 or 6 crores. Mr. Rahul has done that calculation and he revealed the truth. He does not know. Every other speech, everything is a monologue. So many questions can be raised. He is not prepared to answer. Whether you are IAS or whether you are from any sector, he will speak. He says, carry on doing what I say. Do not raise questions. He did that. In that only he said he is going to sell hundreds of assets of the PSU to secure 2.5 lakh crores to the exchequer. For what? Why do you sell your assets? When you sell your assets, whether it is modernized or not, what you can do? Nothing. There is no benefit for the country if it goes to the private hands. Private doesn't have an obligation to the country or the people or anybody. Then what is the point of modernization? Anyway, everything is just simply cheating. So this is not the election contested between parties or ideologies. The policy pursued by the Modi government. Any party or anybody stands with him are utterly people who are not thinking about this country at all. If anybody have an iota of thinking, they will reject that government outright. Don't ask me the opposition are good or bad. Simply you must have to teach the lesson to this person first, this dispensation first. We can deal with whether it is Mamata Banerjee or would be elected any government for that matter in Kerala, Tamil Nadu, Puducherry or Assam. Don't bother about that. This is the crisis the country faces. The solution is vote out these people. Okay, if you ask me, what will happen if he wins back? Then immediately within 6 months of time, take it from us, the Rooster says that within 6 months of the time, this country is going to face a huge election. The same EVM will be working. Now also it is going to be shrewdly put into use. But then if we en masse hit against, then even that also cannot help Modi. If we don't do this now, in this election, then I tell you, you are going to face one election that is going to be the last election, and Modi will come to power and he will not conduct the election, just the way Hitler has did for Germany people. Then he has ruined that country. I don't want to go into that history. Go and read The Rise and Fall of the Third Reich by Richard Scherer. So, this is the election contested between the people of India and the party-led alliance of Narendra Modi. So, where do you want to stand with? This is the question. So, it is not the symbol, political parties and whatnot, election campaign, just leave it aside. Mind your business. The day will come. Go with your family and friends. Vote against them. That is going to be the greatest of service at this crisis-ridden time. Meet you again. Thank you.